This is going to sound crazy, people. I'm 534.4 pounds right now. Is that by the end of 2022, early 2023, I want to be at 225 pounds, and you better believe your ass I'm going to get there.
Evolve your body and evolve your mind.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Larry. Some of you may already know me as iAmDFan, and found out that I, in fact, won the Evolve contest, which, you know, at one point I was 757 pounds. And at the time of entering the Evolve contest on January 1st, I was 623.4 pounds. When I was 6 years old, for the first time, I was molested. And, you know, that started a snowball of hell over the next 6 years of my life. I was raped by somebody who was a close family member that you consider an uncle. There's 13 people that I remember because I knew them, even as a child, from the time I was 6 until I was 12. There's countless more that I don't even know who they were. And I often wondered if I was traded for drugs, because my dad was big in the drugs, cocaine, all that kind of stuff that you could imagine. And so I often wondered if I was getting traded for that stuff, and I found it so hard to believe that nobody knew and nobody could help me. I was molested thousands of times. Like, I couldn't even tell you the count. Almost every day, not even exaggeration, for that period of time. While all this is going on, my dad is believed to have suffered from split personality disorder. Like, when he was super violent, he would only answer to the name of Sam. But he would beat me until I couldn't move. I was hung in closets. I was beaten with horsewhips. I was tasered with guns. I was beaten with a 2x4, and to the point that it was duct tape and beaten over me some more. You know, all this scarred me pretty badly. And I can't tell you what that does to somebody. Like, my mom, bless her soul, her answer to everything was, here's some cupcakes, here's a soda, here's some fried chicken. You know, it's only she was trying to help, not realizing the dependency that I would form on food because of this. I was angry for a lot of my life. A lot of that abuse that happened over all those years, it stopped when I was about 12 years old because my father died. I locked that up in me for so long that I never dealt with his death. That, like, to the point of petrified to walk into funerals and stuff, and I just carried this burden with me for so long, when I thought I didn't have it, that it was pulling me down in so many ways. It's hard to understand how I could still be alive, living through everything that I lived through. I was raped again at the age of 20. I was, you know, got to the point that I was beyond intoxicated. Somebody got me to drink like as much as they wanted to drink, and long story short, there ended up being a pregnancy out of this. I tortured myself for so long because, you know, if I'm being raped, like, how could I even? It was something I didn't want, something I begged to not happen, and yet somehow my body still functioned in a manner that could make that happen. That broke me more than anything that had happened previous to that, like, to the point that I was suicidal. I didn't want to live. I had attempts on my life in multiple ways. You know, she ended up losing the baby, which, you know, once I come to terms with everything, and I'm like, I'm going to give this child, like, such a wonderful life. It's never going to go through what I did. It's not going to, you know, to have to go through that loss on top of that, okay. It broke everything left that I had as a human, pretty much. Any self-love that I had for myself, it was gone. People ask, you know, people assume, they're like, you know, oh my God, he's just such a fat pig. How could he get to be 757 pounds? Who eats like that? Why would you do that? You know, it's always his fault. Haha. You know, the point and the laugh and the names. I was trying to kill myself. I was trying to eat myself to the point that I would be in the ground and die. Food was my choice of addiction. For a long time, I thought I had a handle on this stuff. But my idea of having a handle on this stuff was burying it to the point that it just no longer existed, right? If I bury it, nothing's there. You know, over the years, I would have some success at at weight loss, and then in the first sign of any trauma or bad stuff, I would just fall off that wagon, and I would eat insane amounts of candy or whatever. I would drink insane amounts of soda or chocolate milk and all these empty calories. Well, I'm in my young 20s, and I'm working at a company called Singular Wireless, which becomes AT&T. I collapsed while I'm on the phones. First I'm told it was a heart attack. Then I'm told no, it wasn't. You know, there's some damage there, but it wasn't this or that. And the long story short is, it sent me back pretty bad. May of 2019, a good friend of mine passed away, and I'd lost a few friends like in a very short amount of time. This guy was pretty healthy. This guy I always knew. He got pneumonia and it killed him. And something clicked into me, like, I need to finally change, you know, like, whoa, I can't keep putting this off, like I'm gonna end up dying. I started really going in, and my heaviest weight I was 757 pounds, and so last May I was 690 pounds. Somewhere over the course of a year plus, I'd lost 60 pounds just by not drinking soda and eating as much candy. So I was like 690, and I started working on it the best I could, to the point that I got down to 615, I want to say it was. I see this thing for Glad puts out this tweet that there's going to be this Evolve contest.
Hello, friends of all sizes. So I want to talk to you guys about an event that I'm going to be putting together for January 1st of next year. That's going to be 2020, and we're going to call it Evolve Your Body and Evolve Your Mind. And I think if we're going to have a big takeaway here, a big core theme behind all of this is, it doesn't matter, you know, where you're from, what your ethnicity is, what your sex is, if you're gay or straight, if you're married or single, how tall or short you are, you know, what you look like. None of that matters. All that's most important is that you learn to love yourself, you learn to respect yourself, and you learn to be confident in your own skin. Let's say that maybe over the past couple years, could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 15 years, could be 20 years, doesn't matter. You've just been very unhealthy with the way that you've been eating, haven't been going to the gym or anything like that. And maybe you have some extra weight that you've been really putting off or you're not happy with. Maybe the flip side, maybe you're very unhealthy with the way that you eat. Maybe you don't eat enough. You know, and you want to make a change and you want to put on some muscle, or, you know, it has to be some sort of physical, something that, you know, I can see. And what I'm going to ask is that for people that are seriously interested in something like this, seriously dedicated, and I mean like 100%, bro, like for 6 months, you are going to go all in, you're going to empty all the shit that's in your house that you don't need, that's not going to help you achieve your goals. And I'm going to have everybody hold up a piece of paper on January 1st, a newspaper. Yes, these still do exist. I go out to a store and find one that says January 1st, 2020, with a picture of yourself and then a little background on your, you know, your whole situation. So, you know, go as personal as you're comfortable with, but just a little bit about yourself, how you got to the state, I guess the unhappy state that you're currently in, what your goals are, what your plan is, what you're going to do to achieve them, and, you know, why you're doing all this. And ultimately, the reward for this is I'm going to give the winner a PC from Evolve, which is my PC affiliation. But I don't want you to say I'm doing this for a PC. I don't want you to do this for a PC. I want you to do it for yourself. I want you to do this so that at the end, you know, whether or not 6 months is enough to achieve all of the goals that you want, you know, most people, you're going to want more time, but this is going to be a good step in the right direction. At the end of this, I want you to feel confident in your skin. I want you to feel like you love yourself, you know, that you feel sexy, you know, all these good things that, are things that we can learn to change and learn to evolve, and that's where we're getting the whole evolve your body and evolve your mind.
And, you know, transform your mind, transform your body, and I'm looking for any edge I can to help myself, and I want to go in, I want to prove to myself I can try hard and I can win something. And I remember talking to my friend Warbucks on December 5th. I sent him a series of messages, because if I won the contest and won the PC, I wanted to be able to give it to him. Because the PC itself wasn't about me, right? Winning for the fact of changing my life for the better. And he's not the kind of guy to accept anything, you know. But begrudgingly, He's like, look, you know, I don't want you to do this for me, but if this will somehow help you to win this contest, then I am okay if you want to do that. And I said, okay, because I'm entering this thing to win. I'm not entering this thing to be in second place. I want to win. And I know it's a long shot, but I'm going to bust my ass to do the best I can. During this period of time, I became suicidal again. I made an attempt. You can see my arms. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the camera. There's that. There's all the ones there. All razor cuts. I was cutting myself really bad. And this is all as the glide contest is about to start, right? And it was too much. It was too much, and I was cutting myself just to try to fill. I just wanted to be able to fill anything. I already gave my word to my friend Warbucks I was going to try to do this for him. I wanted to try to do this for Glad, so, you know, of course I take my pictures and stuff, and I'm trying to do it. And I weigh in on January 1st at 623.4. Over a 6-month period, I worked through all the molestations that happened to me. I wrote letters to everyone who molested me, and I didn't send them to them, but I wrote them for me, and I got all this stuff out of me. I dealt with my father's death. I finally dealt with Adeline's death. And I can't, like, just say in words, I can't describe to you how hard it was to deal with all this. I thought about all the beatings I took as a child, and thought about the child that I lost, who, quite frankly, I'd buried so deep in my mind I hadn't thought about it for a long time, and the baby would have graduated high school this year. And I didn't even think about it for years. I buried it so far inside of me. But a weird thing happened, right? I started realizing like 99% of me was like 1 foot in the grave ready to go. But somehow every week the scales were going down. You know, 623 to 619 to 615 to 608 to 590. Like through all this pain, somehow I'm still losing weight. And I'm still eating the way I'm supposed to. And so I dig down even harder and I keep trying. And finally I sit through all the shit. And I still have down days, of course. But I get through all this stuff and I realize it's like, I'm lucky to have been through everything I've been through. I'm lucky to have suffered all the abuse I did as a child. Why? How is that possible? What the hell am I talking about? Experiencing everything I have in my life as I push through everything, and I learned this. I learned to look at it from not a why me, why did this happen, why, and I got to this how can I turn this into a positive, how can this be beneficial, how can I make the most of this, what can I do different. The girl who molested me and had a baby that was stillborn that I lost, she's now married and has a family. But you know what? I reached out to her, gave forgiveness, forgave everybody who ever molested me, every friend who ever hurt me, forgave myself for all the wrongs that I might have done. Because the world needs compassion, and the world needs to help people, and to love people, and to know that people aren't perfect. And by going through everything that I went through, I saved somebody else from going through it. There's somebody else in this world who didn't have to go through what I went through because I went through it. Now on top of that, because I went through it and somebody else didn't have to go through it, I also have a unique perspective on a lot of things. Addiction, because I was addicted to food. Pretty much the same as being addicted to drugs. I was eating it to heal and soothe my pain, and while I would like to think it didn't hurt people around me, people had to sit here and watch me deteriorate the way I deteriorated, right? And it's not like you can just not have food. You gotta have food every day, right? I'm lucky to be raped. Why? How does that make sense? Because I can relate to the people who have been, and when I see these stories coming out on Twitter about all the girls who've been sexually assaulted and stuff, like my heart is with them. I know what it's like to blame yourself for everything, but it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's their fault. But I won't hate anyone. Because if I hold hate in my heart, then people still won. And nobody can have that power over me. Nobody won. I refuse to allow that to be the case. I will use everything that happened to me, the beatings, the drugs that I was around, the rapes, to the loss of family, of child. And I'm going to turn that into a positive, because now, more than ever, I'm in a position where I can help people. All I've ever wanted to do with my entire life is make a difference, change, help people change, lead by example. And I'm in a position now where I actually have people asking me, how are you doing this? At the end of the GLAD contest, right, I set a goal to be 550 pounds. And on July 1st, I weighed in at 546.6 pounds. I beat my fucking goal. Like, I did it. I went from 623.4 to 550 while dealing with everything I had to get through mentally, and while dealing with everything, losing my marriage, while dealing with no financial anything. I didn't let that shit deter me, because no matter what you're going through in life, all you have to do is believe in yourself. Stop making excuses for why you can't do something and start telling yourself why you can do it. First time in my life, I love myself, I care about myself, I believe in myself. I can't tell you what that's like, right? I still have people coming at me telling me, stop pretending to be something you're not going to lose this weight. I have people within my own family going around talking about, oh, he's just a fat, worthless person, tell my nephew, you don't want to eat that, you're going to fatten just like your Uncle Larry, you want to be worthless like that. And I mean, that stuff used to eat me alive to the point that I let people dictate how I felt about myself. Not anymore, okay? The end of Glad's contest, I was 546.6. It's been a month since then. And I weighed in last week, and I was 534.4. I lost another 12.2 pounds, but it's not going to stop there, okay? I went through all this, I fought through all this, and here we are. And I'm sitting here at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is now, fresh off of Glad telling me I won. I fucking won. Like, I believed in myself. I put in the hard work. And I fucking did it. Like, I can't tell you what kind of validation that gives me. But I'm not done. You see, I have a long ways to go. Overall, as I sit here now, you look at me, and I understand. Fat rolls. I'm still huge. How could this guy won? I've lost 222.6 pounds so far. 89 of that since July 1st. Okay? 78.6 of that during the actual contest itself. I have much bigger goals because I couldn't stand for 10 seconds 7 months ago. Now, I can bathe myself just fine. I can walk around. I have a punching bag over here. I punch. And believe it or not, standing up like that would have took me 5 minutes before. Okay? I work out. I punch the shit out of that bag every day. It's part of my workout. I have a seat of workouts I do. I couldn't do a single squat at the beginning of this year. I can without holding onto the wall. I can do 3 now. And I'm going to continue to push on to that, okay? This is going to sound crazy to people. I'm 534.4 pounds right now. My continued goal is that by the end of 2022, early 2023, I want to be at 225 pounds. And you better believe your ass I'm going to get there. And I'm going to do something that only 2% of the people ever do. I'm going to run a fucking marathon. Why? Because I can. And I'm going to use every ounce of me to help be an inspiration to others. I'm going to go into motivational speaking because it's a passion of mine. I want to change people's lives for the better. I want to be coach type, teacher type person. It's all these passions I've always had. And I feel like I'm in a unique position because of everything that I have ever went through in my life to get me to the point where I am now. I'm going to continue to reach out through the communities that I'm a part of and try to be a positive influence on people's lives. I'm going to do everything I can to be the best person I can, because it doesn't stop here. And I owe so much of that to Glad. Like, I gotta be honest, I do. Like, I believed in myself and I made the changes in myself, but without somebody finally stepping up to the plate and offering some sort of support who didn't have to, taking his time, his money, to put up a PC just to try to help people change their lives, I'm going to pay it forward too, because all I want to do is change lives, okay? Like, that is one of my biggest goals. I want to make an impact and a difference on this world. That's why I've been so open and transparent about my story through my Discords, through Patreon and stuff that I have, and the stuff that I'm telling you guys right now. Glad, you were an amazing individual, man. I can admit, at times I was down during this contest so far that I didn't understand. 99% of me wanted to die, and yet every week my scale was going down. Every week I was making conscious decisions not to eat junk food, not to drink soda. I drink some Pepsi Zeros once in a while, but not drinking all the thousands of calories in that, not drinking the chocolate milk. And I couldn't figure out why, and one day it just dawned on me. It's like, it's Glad. Nobody's ever taken the time to care about my weight loss. And a lot of people said, oh, I'll help you. I'll be your workout buddy. Oh, how can I do this or whatever. A random stranger on the internet who plays a game I love, Destiny. He reached out, and Destiny 1 saved my life at a time. You know, Destiny, it's funny. Destiny just comes around and keeps saving my life. Destiny 1, when I was so sick and going through everything, it allowed me to have that feeling of making a difference. Destiny 2 and everything that happened in it, and the communities that I'm a part of, that I'm building with my friend, that we're helping grow and everything. And then Glad with this contest, the Evolve Your Mind, Evolve Your Body contest. My body's getting there. Okay, I'm working hard on that. It's going to take time. My mind is there. I've already won in my mind. And I hope that you guys will follow my story all the way through. I've had a friend actually from the community that reached out to Diamond Dallas Page. This guy was a wrestler in the 90s, early 2000s, and he created his own yoga program. They've had success with people who could barely move that have been able to lose a bunch of weight. They become mobile. They've had people lose a couple hundred pounds. And this guy reached back to my friend and was like, yo, I want to talk to your friend. Have him get a hold of me. So I've messaged him. Who knows what door that'll open. But I truly hope that everybody will follow my story, because I'm not done here. This is only the beginning. This is the first chapter. And I gotta admit, had I lost this contest, it wouldn't have stopped me. I was already on the road to success. I was going fast, somewhere fast, and I still am. And if you want to be a part of something special, you continue to follow this story. Because when this story gets over, it's going to be the 757-pound man who ends up 225 pounds, runs a marathon, and changes the fucking world. That's just where I'm at, okay? I'm not a professional in any sort. If you ever need anybody, find me. iAmDFan, Twitch, Twitter, whatever. DMs. I might not be able to respond right away. I'm always going to listen. I'm always going to be here because I care, and that's part of me. I got so far left to go, and it's amazing the validation that I feel from winning this contest. I'm not a cocky person, but I'm confident. When I messaged my friend Warbucks about the computer, in the long haul, I'm in this to win this. I'm in this to be that person that people can see as an inspiration. So if you ever need to talk to anybody, if you have any questions about my life, there's so much more that I could delve into. My DMs are always open. My original weigh-in of 757 pounds, I had to weigh in at a junkyard. Okay? Because scales didn't even go that big. And I wish I had pictures all the way from then. But thank God that Glad started this contest, because I started taking the photos then. My waist was 83 and like a half around or something, and at the last time it was 79 and like a quarter. Huge, I know, but that's a big difference for me, right? My legs, I feel them getting smaller. My shorts fall off my ass, all this stuff, right? I'm going to continue to catapult this. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that Glad is a big reason why. Knowing that I can put hard work into something and bust my ass the way I did for something I want, which was to win this contest, to win my friend a PC, to just prove to myself that I could do anything I put my mind to, and to actually win has lit even more of a fire under my ass. I'm in what I call the 550 and still fighting phase, which is I want to be to 500 pounds or less by October 7th, which is my birthday. And then from there, I'll keep going. And it's going to be goal after goal after goal like that. And again, I could go on forever, but this is my story. The future for me is very bright. There is so much more to come, and I look forward to sharing it with you all. I am proud of myself. I love myself, and I am here to help in any way. I am so appreciative of this opportunity. I'm so glad that I won, but there's no time to celebrate. I don't have time to celebrate. It's time to keep getting my ass to work. My name is iAmDFan. They call me Larry, and I fucking won the Evolve contest. Peace out, guys. Hey y'all, it's iAmDFan here. You can call me Larry. It's been a while since my last video. I recorded that right after winning the Evolve contest. What I can tell you is, when that contest ended on July 1st, I was 546.6 pounds. As I sit here right now, I sit here 5 months later, it's December 10th, and I currently weigh 456.6 pounds. I have dropped another 90 pounds since the contest ended. Now, I haven't done this all on my own. You know, I had to do the work, and I had to put it in, and, you know, that starts first within me. Dealing with the mind, which I dealt with big time and got in good shape by July, but since then it's even better. It's more focused, more understanding of myself, more understanding of the things around me, and more understanding of what I need to do. And one of the biggest reasons for that is my friend Amanda. I didn't talk about Amanda in the first video because we had been estranged for a long time. We hadn't spoken to each other in a long time, and it wasn't out of ill will or a hate for each other. There was some misunderstandings in life. She was the person that was there that made me happy the only other time in my life I've been happy. And maybe that's not a fair thing to say, with the fact that I was married for a long time to someone else. But what I realized is, with Amanda, I never had to be anything but me. And I didn't have to try to figure out what to do or how to make things better or what somebody else needed. She helped me see things from my past that I thought I dealt with that I hadn't even fully understood yet. And that really helped clear my mind up here. She explained to me things that happened in her life, which is, a story for her to tell another day. And I was just amazed by how much she had accomplished and how she had raised her 4 children still, and how she got through everything that she had been through and still managed to go to school and get a great job at a university and still working on graduate degree and just keep going and going and going. And knowing that somebody with that kind of drive had a true belief in me, man, did it light a fire and passion under me to do even better than I'd already done. It brought me up to this next level, I did realize pretty quickly that I was still in love with this girl. And not to delve too deep in that story, but long story short, over the next couple months as we got to talking, she realized there was feelings there too. And I've become aware that for me to truly transform the next part of my life, that I needed to move from Illinois to Mississippi. And I knew that I needed to be around her and her family because I knew that was the support system, the love, the new fresh start that I needed for me to continue what I had already started and been building upon. On October 18th, got settled into a place, and I weighed in at that time at almost 494 was my first weigh-in, around the 20th of October. It was a couple days after I got here. And from the 494, I'm sitting at 456.6 now. I've lost almost 40 pounds since October 20th. It's December 10th. That's how big of a difference being down here and being around what I needed to be around has been for me. I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said yes. One of the happiest moments of my life, putting things together. And I've talked about wanting to change the world and wanting to make a difference in people's lives. And I realize now, even though I still want to do it for strangers, and I will be that beacon of hope for anybody who feels like they don't have a chance. I got 5 lives right next to me that I can change. I can be a positive influence in these kids' lives and show them that there are good people out there and show them that they are loved. And I can show her that not everybody is bad and that some people are true to their words. And I can truly be happy myself. I'm proud to sit here and tell you I haven't had a single suicide thought since well before the Evolve contest ended. I haven't cut myself in any way and haven't even wanted to. I haven't given up, just like I promised I wouldn't. After I won Evolve and I won the computer that went to Warbucks, as you all know, I continued to strive to be the best me that I can possibly be, because I deserve it and because I feel a great responsibility to be the best me I can be and use my story to inspire others. I'm hopeful that people can look at this and look past what they see on the outer shell and truly see what's in my heart and know that I am here to be as helpful as I can be for anybody. I have crossed 300 pounds lost. That's an astronomical number, and you look at me and I'm still a pretty big guy. You can see my arms, you can see the loose skin that's really forming there and stuff. And I am a really big guy still. I'm still 456.6 pounds, but I'm not 757 anymore. I am proud of myself, but I will be more proud of myself when I get where I'm going. And you better believe I'm going to get where I'm going. I'm thankful for life. I've lost 300.4 pounds, 166.8 pounds of that this year, 76.8 during the Evolve contest, an additional 90 pounds since the Evolve contest ended, and several inches on my body, several inches all over my body. Even just this last measurement was 6 inches alone in my chest, 20 inches around my whole body. Told a million times, Larry, you can't do this on your own. Well, I'm doing it on my own. I was told I would fail. I would give up because that's who I am. It was too hard. I couldn't do it. Well, I'm doing it. And I'm doing it quite well. I want to send a special thanks to everybody who ever hurt me in my life. Because of you, I'm the man I am today. And you didn't break me. You just helped define my character and making sure that nobody ever gets broken in the ways that I was broken, and when they experience bad times, they have somewhere to go. You don't have power over me anymore. You don't control my mental anymore, because I'm a damn good man, and I know this. I want to send a special thanks to my mom for putting up through all the abuse that she put through, and while she didn't know her giving me food and stuff would form a dependency, I know she did the best she could, and I do love her. And to anybody else who has ever had my back, family, or friends, just know I appreciate and love everything that you've done for me. A special thanks to Dathan Warbucks for allowing me to try to win a PC for him, and for helping get me that far I needed. And a very, very, very special thank you to Amanda. Amanda, you've been the brightest spot in my life multiple times over 17 years. You've been the person who has truly believed in me the ways that I needed to be believed in, and didn't give up on me, and allowed myself to push myself in the ways I needed. I love you with everything in me. I always will. And I look forward to a future together with you and your family, if that's what God so chooses for us. God bless. Have a good day, y'all.